Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be looking at how to import data and clean data in Power BI. Uh, the first thing we're going to be doing is to import our data set. So click on get data. Our data set is a CSV file, so I'm going to select CSV and I will select the data set, warehouse data set. So to clean this data, I'll click on transform. This opens up the Power Query aspect of Power BI. So in Power Query, we have so many things that can help us to clean our data. Up here, we have a way to also import data. If you want to import, you can import from here as well. This shows your sources. Down here, you have the columns. Depending on the columns you want, you can choose columns that you want by selecting or deselecting as the case may be. You can remove columns as well. You can remove other columns too. Then you can keep rows. You can keep top rows, bottom rows, and you can remove rows as well. Here you can use this to split by the limiter, number of character, position as well. And here you can change the data type of a column. Then you can use first rows as header or use headers as first row as the case may be. You can replace value. You can merge queries, append queries. So for this particular one, we'll just clean this data set based on the requirements. The first thing we are going to look at, if you look at this apply step here, because whatever step that you take in cleaning up the data set is recorded here. So you find out that a Power BI automatically promotes header for you. You can go back a step and see here that the header, when you look at the source, actually, the source has columns, and down here it has promoted the header. In case your data set, Power BI did not promote the header automatically, you can go back to this end and promote the header yourself. Then another thing that you can see is that it automatically changed type as well. But for this data set, I don't want to change type yet, so I'm going to delete this step. One thing I'm going to do now is to check the quality of my columns. So I'll click on view and turn on the column quality. So the column quality gives you an overview of the quality of each column. You can see here the number of percentage that is empty and the one that is not empty. Also, column profiling helps you to understand the distribution of each column. The profile of each column. There is also the column distribution as well to enable you to understand more about each column. So from the look of things, I have some columns with empty values, the location. So I am going to, let me turn off the distribution. I don't need that now, as well as profile. So I'm going to replace these blank values here. If you scroll down, you can see the blank values with unknown locations. So to do that, I'll right click on the column, replace values. So value blank, then replace with unknown. Click OK. So you find out that we don't have blanks anymore. You can look at the load more. So any blank here is replaced with unknown location. So we are going to also replace, if you look at the quantity column, you have right now, this is supposed to be a numeric column, but you can see that Power BI is seeing it as a text because we have some text in between. So we are going to replace this 200. Let's also look at it. So you find out that we have some text, 200 and NAN. So we are going to be replacing this 200 with the figure 200. So we right click, replace value. In order to be able to get the exact text that we want to replace, you can just click on it, copy it, right click, replace value 200, then replace with the figure 200. Then we are also going to replace the NAN with null. so that probably I can see this column as a numeric column. That is that. Then moving over to the price, the same thing is applicable. We have NAN. So we are going to replace that too with null. The next thing we're going to be looking at is the product name column. I want to make this a proper case, so I'll click on product name, transform, go to format, and capitalize each word. Then same thing for category, format, and capitalize each word. So the next thing I'm going to also look at is to check for trailing spaces, that is leading spaces. So to do that, I'll go back to view and turn on the show white space. So when I turn it on, it tends to like show any trailing leading space that I have in my columns. I'll click on that. So if you notice, the product name has leading space. That is the only column that has leading space here. So I'm going to trim this from. Then click on transform, trim. So it has cleared the leading space. And the next part we're going to look at is to come back to the quantity. So right now, since we have empty values here, I want to replace these empty values with the mean of these columns. I'll change this first to uh, numeric column. So I'll change this to decimal, change the price as well to decimal, then also the date. Let me just change the data type. Change the data type to date. So right now, this is now a numeric column. So I'll click on this, go to statistics, and click on average. I want to find the mean. So this is the mean of this column. I'll copy this. I'll go back to the previous step. Go back to quantity. Now replace values. Yes, I can insert a step. Insert. Replace the value null with the average. So I'm going to clear that to two decimal places. Then the next part is for the price. I'll do the same thing for the price. Click on it, go to statistics, find the average, insert, copy the average, go back to that previous step and replace. Insert. Then round this up to two decimal places. So this should now be 0.9. So we find out now that for quantity and price, we no longer have empty values. And the empty values we had has been replaced with their main values. So finally, I'm going to delete these two steps because I don't need them. And we now have our data set well cleaned. So I am going to close and apply. Then we have a clear data set. That is all for this particular data cleaning exercise. I'm going to attach the file to this particular stuff in the description if you want to follow along. And don't forget to like and subscribe and also share this video. Thank you.